My name is Hector Rodriguez, but you might know me as Hex. I know a lot of people in gaming and esports, and I will be bringing them into the studio to share their origin stories.
3 words that best describe you.
Optimistic.
Introspective.
Whoa, you just put me on the spot like that.
It's really about cracking the code. And that's the same approach that I had with FaZe Clan, right? It's like, here's this thing that is so special that nobody knows.
When I walked into the job, this is sacred space. I am a guest here. I'm here to try and help align things, motivate, set new visions, get more people involved. I didn't start it, I didn't create it. You know, this has to be a very respectful entry into this party.
I'm like, yo, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
We were 3 years in 4 months.
Yeah.
And people are talking about, yo, why have you won a championship? You know how f***ing hard it is to win in League of Legends?
Join us on VENN for new episodes, behind-the-scenes moments, and much, much more.
Esports is 1,000% going to contend with traditional sports in viewership, which means
Dollar bills, y'all.
Origin stories.
Hi, Matt. How you doing? Let's do me a favor. So what's going to happen is Hector will introduce you. Yeah. You'll sit down.
You better give me the best introduction I've ever had.
wait to give you the intro.
The prodigal son. Stab me in the back and
I'm super excited. I'm getting mic'd up right now. I'm about to interview somebody that I've interviewed like 100 times, but I'm gonna try to make it super interesting by asking him questions and talking about that we haven't really ever talked about in public. There he is.
Oh, I'm sweating. I am sweating. And I have to pee.
Welcome back to another episode of Origin Stories here on VENN. My name is Hector Rodriguez. I am your host. Today I have the honor, the pleasure, the true pleasure actually, to introduce my little brother, someone who's near and dear to my heart, Mr. Nate Shot, Matt Haig, CEO of 100 Thieves. I mean, you do it all, baby. Why don't you come in and sit down?
You're about to say Optic Nate Shot. You got real close to saying Optic Nate Shot.
I almost did say
You
Optic
stopped
Nate
yourself.
Shot. Yeah, I did. Did you catch that?
I did catch it.
Usually, I like to start out this show by asking you 3 questions and then another question, but the main one is 3 words that best describe you.
3 words that describe me. Whoa, you just put me on the spot like that.
All right, 3 words that describe 100 Thieves.
That one's tough too. Let me think.
Can you describe anything in 3 words?
No, I'm not good at descriptive adjectives.
Oh.
Let me see. Give me 2 seconds. Let me spitball something that's. Well, because I don't like using 3 words because I'm confident in myself and I don't want to sound pompous. You know what I mean?
No, you're in good company, babe.
I would say goofy, impatient,
Yes.
and squirrely.
Squirrely's good.
That's what you always called me. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't because you were like your brain was elsewhere. It's just because at the
look
time,
like a squirrel.
at the time you did.
Chubby cheeks.
Yeah, at the time, but now you've grown into a handsome man.
Thank you.
Who knows you better than anyone else?
I would say, if you asked me that question like 8 years ago, I'd say you. When we were living in the Optic House. But now I have to give it to my girlfriend, Haley.
Yeah.
I mean, Haley can read all my emotions really well, and she's very patient, and she tolerates me.
Yeah.
Because she knows that sometimes I get angry, and sometimes I get sad, and sometimes I have a range of emotions where she is always just like that even keeled, you know what to expect, and I know how she's gonna react when I am reacting to something. So I'd say Haley knows me best. We've been together for 2 years.
So obviously, I've known you for over 15 years, I think now. Oh my God. How old were you when we met?
2008, Call of Duty 4.
Call of Duty 4, that's right.
You weren't in Gears of War. My first event was MLG Chicago 2007.
St. Charles.
St. Charles, yeah. What the hell? How'd you know that?
I know everything.
Were you there?
I was not.
Do you know I got my ass beat? I almost made it to championship bracket, top 16, would have been considered a pro player.
Yeah.
Lost to Gringo Jr., who was like an 8-year-old kid.
Oh, dude, he was like during Call of Duty 2, I heard about that dude.
Yeah, kid was nasty.
Yeah, he was.
Pieced us up on Mansion, execution. Last round was tied 3-3, first of 4. I'll never forget the round.
Yeah.
Made a call, did not pan out.
How many times a day do you say 100 Thieves or 100 Thieves or 100 T?
I guess I say 100 Thieves a lot. 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
I was doing like a PR tour for Excedrin. We had a partnership to make people aware of mindfulness routine that can help you reduce headaches. And everybody on that call kept saying 100 Thieves, and it was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
We talked to like 30 different outlets in 4 hours this morning. They all said 100 Thieves. I didn't correct them.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Just 100 Thieves?
100 Thieves, 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Let's go back to the earliest memory that you have. Born in Chicago, Illinois, lived in Palos
Hills.
Palos Hills. Does your dad still live at the same crib?
He built the house that we grew up in Palos Hills, and then after my mom passed, I think there were just too many bad memories in the house, so he sold it and moved to a nice part of town, which was like 20 minutes away. It's called Orland Park.
Okay.
And now
Very
we moved
familiar.
again to a city called Lisle. So it's tough, man. I wish I could go back to that house to kind of like face some of the fears that I had from the stuff that I saw with my mom, but I'm glad that I can still go back to Chicago. I'm bummed that you guys went to Texas, because that was always like my saving grace. All right, I go see my pops, go hang out with Optic. That was great. But my earliest memory, that's kind of tough. I think one of my earliest memories was probably my dad. He would have to re-side the house every couple years because of the material that he used to build it. And he had scaffolding built up the side of this 2-story home. And I was playing on it like a jungle gym, but little did I know that wasps started nesting inside the scaffolding itself.
Yeah.
And so like 4 or 5 of them came out and stung me all at one time in my hand, and I've been terrified of flying bugs ever since.
How old were you?
I don't know, I was young.
Like, were you a teenager, or were you like a toddler?
No, I was younger than that.
Like 7, 8?
I was probably like 8, 9, 10.
Were you crying?
Yeah, bawling my eyes out. I cried a lot as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. I was a very emotional young man.
I think I cried a lot up until like I was 4 years old, and that's what my parents told me. It's like, it wasn't until I was able to hit someone that I cried, because I didn't know how to release that anger. But once I learned how to punch walls and things, I started doing that in the bed.
Yeah, I didn't get angry. I got sad.
I was telling Lee Trink the story about me being in Mexico as for my school. It's a Catholic school.
Juarez.
Yeah, and how the nuns would grab me from the hair here, and then they would just like seriously jerk it. So I was like, oh my God, that hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were just disciplinaries, and both of my parents were actually disciplinaries. My dad was super strict, him, a very quiet dude, but that's because of that. And my mom was just super
Yeah.
And I still became like what I became. Just like I didn't give a shit. Like they hurt. I would pretend like it hurt, but I'd be like, it don't hurt. It don't hurt. I would look at the wall or my teddy bear and be like,
see, I love that. But I think that's what I appreciated actually a lot, getting to hang out with you. You're like 10 years older than me when we first started hanging out. And I always loved your mentality around other people. Like, you're just like very tough exterior. And that was something I could appreciate, because my dad was a great dad. I love my dad to death. He's my hero. But there was a lot of things that, I don't want to say, because we're not in the streets in Schaumburg of Illinois, but just like seeing how you interact with individuals. If somebody doesn't talk to you right, you kind of let them know that they weren't talking to you the right way.
Yeah.
And I don't like confrontation, and that was stuff that I wouldn't do. But now that I'm older and a lot more confident in myself, like I feel like I picked up some tendencies from you.
Do you wish that you could go back to a certain situation and be like, yo, my man?
All the time, brother. All the time, man.
Do you have one that you can recall right now?
Man, I mean, well, what's the situation? Like, do I have the knowledge that I do of where I'm gonna be in life?
No, you're just you.
I was just me?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I didn't have going for me. Like, who am I gonna step up to, bro? I was like, bro, I didn't get testosterone shots as a kid. Did you know that?
No.
I was not even in the percentile of growth, so they were worried that I wasn't gonna be on track to be a certain height or a certain weight. So freshman year, bro, I weighed like 85 pounds, and I was like 4'8".
So were you like a good kid, bad kid? Did you get in trouble? Were you the class clown? What kind of kid were you?
No, I wasn't the class clown. Dude, I've told people this before, but I was a super timid kid. I mean, I was really bad in social situations. I didn't know how to make friends. I mean, I had friends in grade school and like going into high school, but my first job at McDonald's is like what really helped me come out of my shell and start learning how to talk to people and not be so afraid. But yeah, I wasn't a class clown. I kind of just like stayed to the side, and I wanted attention. I know that for a fact. Like, I just took this narcissism test. I'm like right in the middle. I'm like a 18 out of 40.
Are you?
I thought I'd be way more narcissistic than that.
Yeah. What do you think mine would be? My score?
I think you'd probably be like a 28.
Is that bad?
40 is the highest.
40 is the highest?
You know Jackson from 100 Thieves? He got a 33.
Jackson got a 33?
He's the definition of a narcissist.
Yeah.
But yeah, either way, I was like just a quiet kid.
Play sports?
Yeah. Baseball, basketball, B team. I was terrible at that. I was too short, man. I didn't have any athletic ability.
Yeah? I mean, so was Muggsy Bogues, I think.
Second baseman, 4th through 8th grade, though, all-stars every year.
Really?
Yeah. If you can hang your hat on that.
I can. Yeah. I mean, I've seen the pictures, or I've seen the one picture of you as like a baby with a bat.
Yeah.
Just like chubby
Bro, that was me
cheeks.
in like 7th grade.
No, you were not.
Nah, I'm playing.
Oh my God, bro! I literally thought that was true, and I'm like, man, you had to look like you're like 7.
Yeah.
I remember clearly, by the way, the first day that I heard your voice when we were playing on Vacant with Diesel and somebody else. You were playing with somebody else. But I remember, and I'm like, damn, this has got a deep ass voice.
No, you go back and watch my old videos. I sound like a.
No, I don't know why, but you sounded like, I don't know, you were talking like a grown dude.
Must have been the testosterone shots.
May have been.
I didn't grow this myself.
No. But I remember that clearly. When do you think was the first time that we met?
Well, I mean, I could tell you the story how you and I met, but I don't know if you want that on camera with Optic Nerve. Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Well, so we were one of the better competitive teams in Modern Warfare 2. We won the first 3 major tournaments in Modern Warfare 2. And then Optic reached out to this guy named Optic Nerve, who no longer works there. I mean, he wasn't even working there much longer after I joined. But he basically said, yeah, we're looking for a competitive team right now. We make YouTube videos and we make money off of it. And my mind was blown. I'm like, wait, what? Wait, hold on. Back up. Because I had posted like clips to my YouTube channel of me clutching 1v3s on Crossfire, Search and Destroy, all these old school gameplays from game battles. So when I found out you guys can make money from videos, that's when I don't know why, because I don't think I've ever had that level of motivation for anything in my life besides that. Yeah. As soon as I heard that, it was, let's blow the hinges off this thing and let's go. Yeah. So I got introduced to you. I think I was really scared to talk to you. I think we hopped in a Skype call, and you were kind of an asshole, to be honest. Yeah. You wanted no business talking to me. You were just very short. Yeah. Like, who the is this guy?
No, I knew who you were. I just didn't want to have anything to do with you at the time.
Yeah, seriously though, that's what the tough part was.
Is that what it felt?
Well, because Optic was so tight-knit back then, I felt like I had to be in your good graces to really feel a part of it. But I was only close with like Diesel and Predator. Yeah. Predator was the
I think
OG.
that's. I mean, still to this day, I think that's how Optic is, right? Like it's literally the same group of guys since the beginning.
The first time somebody meets you, they got to approach you the right way, because if they don't, I think you write them off immediately. Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the origin story. Take me through the competitive years of 2010 through 2012.
It's pretty broad, man.
Yeah, 2010 is what? Modern Warfare 2?
2010 to 2012, nothing happened. Nothing notable besides, COD XP.
Yeah, 2011, COD XP.
COD XP, we won that event, $100,000.
You just made $100 grand. How does that feel?
I don't want to work at McDonald's anymore.
You guys end up winning, and again, I knew that we were gonna win it. I don't know how, but I remember that the moment that you guys won, I was in the middle of the crowd, and Jericho, Gold Glove, Dr. Disrespect at the time, or Guy, he wasn't in custom, Guy and Bashir Musa, and T Martin were all there.
Bash?
Yeah, Bash. Yeah. From there, let's jump through 2013, Black Ops 2. Yeah. You're blowing up. For the first time ever, after only sponsoring people in Halo 3, here comes Red Bull.
Oh, yeah. So that was really the biggest moment, is I flew out to LA. I was staying at the Gamer Shore House, which was Jericho, Syndicate, and Gold Glove. And I was going out there to sign a contract with Red Bull, part of their athlete program, because I grew up watching Walshy was sponsored by Red Bull, and to me that seemed like the coolest thing ever. Same. And I sent them a DM when I was still living at my parents' house, like a year prior, like, hey, I'm really interested in Red Bull and working with you guys. Do you have any plans of getting in Call of Duty? That's when I met a guy named Sam Keen, who's still friends with to this day, great guy. Yeah. And they flew me out later that year, 2012, signed the contract, and when I got back, that's when Black Ops 2 and live streaming, it seemed as if every day after I returned from LA with the Red Bull hat on, it was 1,000 viewers, 2,000 viewers, 3,000 viewers, just climbing and climbing and climbing. That was when I caught my break.
Yeah. All right, so walk me through your decision to, one, retire, and then ultimately leave Optic.
Yeah, I was going back and forth to LA, and Fwiz, who's the head of gaming at YouTube, who you and I are both really, really close with, one of our best friends, he was always convincing me, or trying to convince me, to spend some time in LA, just to broaden my horizons, try something new. So yeah, I mean, look, dude, when you think you're like in love and it kind of clouds your judgment, and all I want to do is get out to LA and start that next chapter of my life. But it came with a heavy heart because I didn't want to leave Optic or the house because I was having so much fun. I have a hard time actually putting myself back in my shoes that I was in then.
Yeah.
Because
you're not the same person.
Yeah, I'm not the same person, and I would probably do it again, but I'm upset that I cut off that part of my life so soon. Because I love the Optic House and I love living around you and hanging out. And I thought that's what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life. I thought we had something special that nothing could ever alter, and we're going to take over the world of gaming. And Optic has done it respectively. I'm trying to do it with 100 Thieves. But yeah, I definitely have regrets of leaving at that time in my life when I did.
Yeah.
Because I moved out to LA, started living on my own, and felt like I was on an island. I mean, I was in a house living with all my best friends.
Yeah.
And now I'm in LA alone, trying to find my way.
You know what's crazy is that back when you were still back in Chicago with us, you brought up the whole streetwear thing to me. So walk me through your decision to finally pull the trigger on doing something that you had been talking about for years.
I was sitting on my couch, depressed as just watching like reruns of Friends for the first time. I'm not even kidding, man. It was a really dark point in my life just because I wasn't happy with what I was doing, and I just felt isolated even though I had friends around me. And so I was trying to come up with something that I could get excited about again, and I've always wanted to start an apparel brand. And even then, I don't even think I knew what my style was or what my style would turn into, but I knew that if I created something that I really loved, everything else would follow.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to come up with words that play on each other that sound really cool.
Yeah.
If I'm being totally candid,
yeah,
that's really all it was. Like, Thieves popped up into my head. I don't remember why, but I always thought the idea, maybe I was playing Skyrim a lot. I don't know. Thieves Guild, Thieves. Like, Thieves by itself, definitely can't get the trademark for that. It wouldn't be that original. Like, how can I add something on top to make it sound fun? And I've always been one that wanted to make money.
Of course.
So I always thought about, like, the $100 bill is one thing that you hear everywhere. You see it everywhere, pop culture, hip hop. So I was just like, man, this kind of rolls off the tongue. 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves. And I want to go back and get my old phone because I still have it.
Yeah.
Sending the first text about, hey, what do you think of this? 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves.
Who did you send that text with?
I think I sent it to my ex-girlfriend at the time.
Yeah. First time that you're in the room with Dan Gilbert, what are your feelings?
Well, they flew me out to the NBA Finals, and that was surreal. It was Cleveland versus the Warriors, and I went up to San Francisco, and I sat in this room with Dan in a boardroom at the hotel the team was staying at. So I was seeing all the players walking around. Dan had like 4 people on his side, opening doors for him. He just looked like money.
Yeah.
And we started going through the pitch, started talking about it. And to be honest with you, I was nervous at first, but then once we started talking about gaming, it's my wheelhouse. So I was just firing from all cylinders. Connections were being made in my mind. It was somehow limitless, Bradley Cooper, except I didn't look as good. So I started pitching 100 Thieves off this deck that Blake masterfully built. And he sat there with me for an hour. And Blake actually told me he never really sits in a room with anybody longer than 30 minutes. And he got on a helicopter directly after and went and had dinner with Steve Jobs' wife.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so Dan Gilbert makes this massive investment. How does the Drake situation happen? Obviously with
Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun, such a good name, good basketball player right here.
Scooter's a legend. Man, that story's funny. So I get introduced to Scooter by this random dude who was working in venture, who basically said, yeah, I know Scooter really well. You guys should come take a meeting. And this was when we were raising our Series A. So Dan Gilbert did our seed series of Series A. We were trying to raise like $10 million. So this guy, after hearing our pitch, introduced us to Scooter. And he takes me to Scooter's office. And this dude's literally on the phone with Justin Bieber as I walk in. And talent managers, they speak a certain way, especially, I mean, if they're talking to their clients and if they're talking to anybody that they're trying to get a deal done for. I mean, block and tackle, that's what talent managers do. Obviously, Scooter's much more than that.
Yeah.
He's a savvy investor, great guy. But at that time, that was my first initial reaction. He's yelling and and I'm like, oh, goddamn. So I walk in there, and what I find out after the meeting, I'm not going to bore you guys with the details, but this was the worst meeting I ever took. I was sweating. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know what to talk about. And what I find out is the guy that set it all up was trying to be like this grimy middleman. I don't know who he is to this day, so if he's super successful, please don't hate me, but that was just my perception of it.
Yeah.
Basically, he said he knew me really well to Scooter, and he told Scooter that whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, playing them. And so it was the worst meeting I ever took. I'm like, yo, I don't think Scooter's the right fit. You know, I went back to John. I don't know if it makes sense. He was saying a lot of things. I don't think he really understood where I was coming from. So then I get a call from Scooter after we told them no. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm not answering that. I can't answer this.
Yeah.
I hate confrontation. Scooter Braun, super successful. He calls like John's former boss.
Yeah.
Gets on the phone with John and then gets me to take the call again. And I'm in the drive-through with Jackson, who was one of the co-founders of 100 Thieves. And he apologized to me. He was like, hey, look, man, I didn't know what that situation was, or I had no context to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But as I sat down and learned more about your business with your partner, John, I'd really love to be a part of this. I promise you I can take care of you and open a lot of doors that you wouldn't be able to open without my help. And to this day, Scooter has been one of the biggest contributors to our success. Just great guy.
100%, man. That's so crazy.
And he introduced us to Drake, too.
Yeah,
the next day.
How did that happen?
We're finalizing the deal. He's like, yo, you know who would love this? I got a friend in hip-hop who would love this. I'm like, who's that? He's like, Drake. He calls up Drake's manager, Future, in the room with us, in our tiny 400-square-foot bedroom, which was our office for our leadership team.
It's on speakerphone, you hear, yeah.
Oh, we didn't have it on speaker. He's like, all right, yeah, you're going to come by tomorrow? The next day, Drake's manager, Future, was in our living room, and we pitched him on the business. And then a couple months later, we went and met Drake at his house, told him more about 100 Thieves, and it was a wrap.
Damn. That when you dropped that picture, I was just like, I mean, I knew about it already, but everyone's reaction was just like so iconic.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough too because Drake was on tour at that time, so we took a lot of we tried really hard to get in front of him. I mean, he's busy. He doesn't know me that well. He just knows a little bit about the business. He loves gaming.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you we were really close because we're not. You know, we've spoken over DMs a couple times over the years. But him and Future both still contribute from like a creative level. Our board meetings like 4 times a year. But I was just honored and just over the moon with the fact that he fucked with 100 Thieves just a sliver, just enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna throw some cash at this. And it was a good amount of money, and I met with him twice. It was awesome, man.
That's so cool.
I'm like, it sucks too because I don't want to go up to the guy and be like, yo, I'm your biggest fan.
Yeah.
But that's who got me through college,
How difficult
bro.
is that, right? Because obviously there's levels of success and levels of popularity, and obviously you have like a massive, fan base, but he's got a massive, massive fan base. So you don't want to approach a person that you admire and say, yo, I admire you. Because then you're uncool or you're...
Exactly. Because if somebody comes up to me and starts like, wide-eyed, drooling over me, I'm just like... It's this weird psychology. I'm like, great to meet you, man. Pleasure, and I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. It was I was so nervous meeting him, and I don't even know if I was putting sentences together. And it's tough too, like I said, because his soundtrack reminds me of so many things.
Yeah.
His discography of me in high school, just struggling with shit, college, dealing with my mom, like. Ah, man, it was crazy.
You got you through some times.
Yeah, bro, it got me through some time. So to finally meet this guy, have an investor in a company. One of the best days of my life.
So tell me about 100 Thieves. What are you guys doing in the future? I mean, obviously don't tell me what you got, but what are some of the industry thoughts that you have about where your position is in this space?
Yeah, so I think what's really important for us is just to continue to push the boundaries of what it means to be an entertainment company in gaming. I feel as if there is a lot of narrow-mindedness in esports because if you do anything other than competition, which teams haven't traditionally done, or that's always what they've done, is just compete.
Yeah.
There's this negative connotation and stigma around your brand. And so people give us a hard time about slinging apparel and making videos with creators.
Yeah.
But now everybody's trying to do it.
Yeah.
And obviously we started that with Optic, and FaZe Clan did it really, really well before too. So that was the model. Like, let's go do this as well as we can. And build something special.
What's worse about the space right now is that they get mad at you, at me, at FaZe, and they just get mad at the fact that they're not just a sports team. Everybody's out here trying to be the Cowboys, but nobody's thinking, it's like, I want to be the Cowboys, I want to be HBO, and I also want to be Supreme.
Yeah, you can't afford to be the Cowboys in esports. The business model doesn't work yet. I mean, I might one day, but I respect a lot of people that work in esports. I mean, I don't mean to sound like I'm on my high horse.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I feel like with a lot of the teams that give us grief, besides maybe 1 or 2 outliers, they were really coming up on League of Legends and Counter-Strike when we came up in console, and we were always doing content differently.
Yeah.
And so I feel like us coming in, I hope they understand that the majority of people that I've seen or work with, I do have respect for.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of the business that we've built, and I'm never going to be apologetic for creating something that has become a really great business. I mean, we're going to be making some announcements at the end of the year. I think the industry is going to turn their head.
Yeah, you should, and you should be proud of that. More importantly, any single time that somebody tells you that you're only a hoodie and you haven't won any championships, just remind them the amount of championships that you won at Optic.
Well, and then we won multiple championships on our teams.
That's what I'm saying.
We won 2 majors of Call of Duty. We won multiple Fortnite tournaments. I mean, people might not count those or whatever that case may be. Won this Valorant tournament, First Strike, a major right there. We've only been around for 4 years.
Yeah.
We're not even 4. We were 3 years in 4 months.
Yeah.
And people are talking about, yo, why have you won a championship? You know how hard it is to win in League of Legends when I got these teams spending $8 million on a roster in a year?
Yeah.
Bro, they can't, and that's not even including buyouts. I'm like, yo, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
What do you want? Like, truly, what do you want?
Yeah, you're actually
I feel like Ryan Gosling in The Notebook. Hold on, keep the cameras going because I'm going to keep going. You guys don't understand. I mean, Hector understands. You don't understand how hard it is to win in esports. You come in, we came in January of 2018. Player contracts and relationships with the owners and the talent managers and the agencies already exist. Yeah. We had to come in and do right by our first couple players to build relationships with other players. And then get into the Counter-Strike. We had bad luck in 2018 with the Brazilian roster. Things didn't pan out. That would have been like a top 5 team on paper. We had a great Counter-Strike team for a little bit. We came in Call of Duty, won championships. League of Legends, if you're not spending the most money, you ain't going to win. It's crazy. Yeah. So people give us a hard time about not winning, but we've won, and it's only been 3 years. Every other team's been around for 10 years.
10, 15 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Can you give me a break?
Yeah.
Cut me some slack,
man. Can you give you a break is a real question,
this gets me riled up.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
We try so hard to win. It's not easy.
Yeah. No, I get it, man. Look, you're preaching to the choir. Secondly, I don't like that you feel like you need to explain yourself to anyone. You are who you are. You've done what you've done. Numbers speak for themselves, and anybody that has any sort of issue needs to look inwards, look at their bottom line on that spreadsheet, and say whether or not they're making money on that and how much is going out the window. And if it doesn't look anything like the way that we've been doing it for the longest time, where we are very concentrated on the fact that this is a business and money needs to be made, they're playing the wrong game because they're spending other people's money, and it's so easy. But when you're the one putting your ass on the line with all that cash, investing your personal $300,000 into your team that isn't even a team, where's the respect?
Yeah, bro.
Where is the respect? You know what? On that, I think that is the perfect place to end it. I want to thank you for...
Now, these motherfuckers... I'm sorry. These people are going to hate us even more, dude. We just sound like we're in our own little echo chamber.
Good.
I'd like to say, if this part still makes it in, I have a ton of respect for the other teams, but I am jaded in a sense with just the things people say and the perspective that they have of what we're doing. I mean, these teams that will come spew out ignorance on their timelines about what our business is, they should be excited that there's another team that's coming in and reinventing and creating new revenue streams for teams.
For them to take a guide off of.
The first team that exits in a big public way, it's a trickle-down effect.
Yeah.
I want FaZe to be worth $1 billion. I want Optic to be worth $1 billion. I want Team Liquid G2. I hope one of y'all sells for $1 billion. Please! No,
that's so
I'm
good.
begging y'all, man.
I'm telling you, I hate when you sort of have to feel like you have to explain yourself to anyone. You literally have a good model. What we started back in 2013 has resonated throughout this entire history. So when you come into the space, a decade after some of these teams, knowing what you know and how to build a team, dude, why do you even care? Like, you have like one of the coolest brands.
Well, I don't care about it on a day-to-day. I mean, you don't see me popping off on Twitter. No. But when we start talking about it as close friends, like that shit's that bothers me, but I don't think about it often.
Nah, good. That's going to do it for this episode of Origin Stories. My guest today, obviously, Mr.
You think
Matt
I could get the water in my mouth all the way from up here?
No, you cannot. And I wouldn't try it. Actually, let's see it. Do it for the...
I don't want to f*** up their set.
Yeah, you're good. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.
Look at your face.
Yeah, delete that. Get something better. Oh my god. Yes. No. Way to nade shots.
No, I get it. Wait, explain it.
Let's have your camera right here. So we're going to use this camera right here.
Okay.
Hat on, hat off, whatever you prefer.
Yo, Bill's always slacking. He's not even doing anything.
He ain't doing shit, man. Wait. Sneezing?
Oh, yo, there's a cat and a skunk fighting.
No. Oh, don't move, don't move, don't move.